Welcome everybody to Contributor Cast number 4. I don't have Amy Polizza fun doing any behind the scenes tech stuff for me this time, so I don't have as many cool overlays around me, but I can still tell you guys some pretty fun facts, such as we have currently raised exactly $3,035.57. That's right. We have broken $3,000, which, when Operation Charlie Fox was being planned, we did not ever think we were going to break, so looks like we've had to brainstorm some brand new stretch goals, and we're, honestly, if things continue at this rate, we're probably poised to hit them. So thank you again to everybody for the incredible support. In fact, I can even check the contributor list right now. Yeah, new stretch goals added at $5,000. Apparently Barton has agreed to eat a bar of soap. So, huge thank you for all of the support and all of those stretch goals being unlocked. Of course, this cast is going to be a part of those stretch goals that we're doing, so lots of support, very incredible stuff. And for the contributor cast, I am going to be jumping into a game, Multi versus Dbmb. So without further ado, let's get that going. I'm so bad at fading out music. I try and do it with my mouse, and that's obviously not a whatever. Okay, moving on. Romeo nudes at 5K. I should have volunteered to do something else for more stretch goals. I don't know what I would do. Something. Maybe I should do something at beyond 5,000. I don't know if we're ever gonna go higher than 5,000. Of course, I didn't know if we were gonna go higher than 3,000. So I don't know. I guess I could do like a 24-hour stream or something. This is probably not the time for brainstorming, though. Alright, focus. Focus. So, this is going to be a 1v1 Multi versus Dbmb. Multi is an excellent player, Korean player, who has been around for a while. Apparently, he's joined WWU, which is a growing clan. Aihido, Multi, few other people have been joining recently, so that's always fun to see. And his opponent is, of course, going to be Dbmb, winner of Starcross Cup 3, also participant in Starcross Kings multiple times, so excellent player as well. Also a streamer, clearly. So this should be an excellent matchup. Curious to see how this game's going to play out. We've got Multi on the right side and Dbmb playing as Overcommando West on the left. Rifle Company, Airborne, Mechanized versus Scavenge, Fortifications, and Breakthrough. I don't think he's going to go Mechanized. Maybe not even Rifle either. These are both 0 CP commanders, so I don't know if he's holding out for Airborne or if he just doesn't intend on utilizing any of these 0 CP features of either of these commanders. Either way, he has not fielded one yet. But Dbmb, on the other hand, has immediately locked in Scavenge. Knows for sure that that's what he wants to use for this game, and he's going to be sending some forces through to the north, get all that under control, and an early Kuba wagon to defend in the middle.
Point secure. Maintains in position. Mission accomplished.
Rear echelon troops on their way to do capping here in the south, and so far it's been all quiet, which is pretty typical on Kholodny Ferma summer. Kuba wagon's going to do some light harassment of riflemen positioned in the church, so they can't stick around in there forever, although they're not even taking damage yet. Still at full health, wow. They will leave the church just to avoid taking any damage for free. And vetted riflemen fielded out of the north spawn, so it looks like they might be trying to execute some kind of flank up here, but they will clearly be outnumbered. Won't be able to do too much solo. These riflemen in the center trying to set up a flank against the Kubel wagon look like they're probably going to at least force that to reposition to safety. Rear echelon troops make their way across the south to get that all under control.
We're on the hook over here!
Vetted riflemen taking control of the strategic point here on the right side. Stern Pioneers will spot them. Some reinforced wire going down on the green cover here as well, trying to deny that to his opponent. Riflemen move up on the left flank of these Stern Pioneers. They will jump into close range against them.
Someone get us out of here! Moving up! Our riflemen will now be better trained before deployment.
That squad will be forced to retreat by overwhelming numbers. These riflemen jump into green cover but don't like the engagement and will pull back a little bit towards the center village.
Steady up, fellas. I got orders coming.
Rear echelon troops make their way up to take control of these strategic points here. Unopposed, still unopposed, not even a single Volksgrenadier squad dedicated to getting those points under control, and it looks like we will see tier 2 from Dbmb. He feels he has a window of opportunity where he will be safe to get that truck up in a slightly out of the base location. Just a little bit of an aggressive placement there to try and protect the fuel point and munitions and try and maintain the small amount of map control he has right now and keep a lot of U.S. forces riflemen at bay. That is a 4 rifleman opening from multi plus captain tier in production, which seems to be the slightly more popular choice now. I've seen a little bit of lieutenant tier, but captain seems to be like against all odds. Captain tier seems to be like the actually U.S. forces meta now. Unloved for so long.
Veteran know-how will help us to better prepare our infantry.
There's the captain, 2 squads of riflemen making their way up the right side. Rifle company also seems to be very popular. Rifle company, captain tier. Captain tier actually made sense as rifle company before, so it definitely makes sense now with the improvements to the Stuart and pack howitzer and so on.
Area secured. That was
These Stern Pioneers will be forced to retreat right there by riflemen positioned in the building. Second squad of Stern Pioneers on the field, plus the Kubel wagon is leaving Dbmb with a very small infantry-based army. He has also gone with tier 2 and the retreat point unlocked, so he just doesn't have enough at his disposal to defend against this overwhelming quantity of infantry. His defenses here need to hold or he'll be in serious danger. Fortunately, Stern Pioneers plus Volksgrenadiers in the building will convince these 2 squads of riflemen to retreat, and without support moving up from the south, Malty doesn't think that this is the time to execute a decisive engagement against this position, and he will fall back. But he has very good map control and a triple cap going right now. Dbmb must slow the clock down as he needs a lot of time for this build to evolve, having spent this much early manpower on defenses. Leaves him with very little ability to spread out and take control of the map, so it's surprising he's managed to maintain this much map control with only 4 squads plus Kubel wagon. When the Kubel wagon hasn't done much of anything, it has 0 kills, and a Stuart is going straight down the middle of the map to try and hunt and destroy it. I think that Dbmb heard it coming a little bit, so he backed into the base.
capture complete. No enemy activity. Contact! Enemy fire! Enemy hunter engaged!
Volksgrenadiers positioned in green cover. Trying to take shots at the Stuart from range. One shot connects. Volksgrenadiers will try and back off, continue reinforcing here at the battle group headquarters. They should be able to out-reinforce the damage that that Stuart is going to deal, but now that it's got a little bit more health than before, it's going to be difficult to destroy. Especially if shots refuse to connect. Nice mine! Oh! He just skirted right past that mine right there. He just needed to place that in a slightly closer to the corner. Stuart just squeezed right by it.
Taking fire! Get fire on that infantry!
Stewart finds an opportunity maybe against the Kuba wagon right there. It's trying to pull itself back to safety, baiting it into a Raketenwerfer. Stewart is not giving up the chase. First shot connects. Here it comes, and the Kuba wagon is destroyed. Kuba wagon goes down. He activated shell shock. Probably not really necessary right there. Kuba wagon went down regardless. Oh, and the Stewart squeezes right by, out of Raketenwerfer range again. That mine could definitely destroy the Stewart if it passed over it, but it looks like he will be taking a safe route back to the base. And with riflemen available to protect, nothing can chase that down, so the Kuba wagon will be destroyed, and the Stewart gets out of that with 5 kills, unpunished. Dbmb is clearly struggling to deal with this quantity of U.S. troops. There is a huge blob of riflemen at his front door. He does not have the tools he needs to get rid of them, especially without suppression. The Kuba wagon is destroyed, and he shows a commander that does not have an MG34, so he needs to win this engagement without suppression, and that's clearly proving difficult. At least he has control of this building. He must maintain control of this building, or his battle group headquarters could be compromised. Looks like these riflemen will eventually get brute force down, but not for free. A lot of manpower bleed being inflicted. Those riflemen just retreated over that mine without getting wiped somehow. It was a one-man rifle squad just retreated over a mine and is not dead, so I don't know how that works, but okay. Dbmb somehow manages to hold the line here. Multi will be forced to retreat back to his base. Since he's having so much trouble cracking this battle group headquarters, he will go into a pack howitzer next, which is probably a very good tool if he positions that behind this hedge, or maybe here in the middle. He should be able to get some good shots off on infantry that are trying to reinforce from this position. Not to mention he's got a rifle company. He will soon enough have access to white phosphorus smoke barrage, which can also help break up defensive lines, Raketenwerfers, force retreats, and open up wipe opportunities. Uh-oh. Double Stern Pioneers positioned in red cover. That's an easy wipe. That was a very easy wipe. Riflemen get wiped right there. Sticking around in that building too long, Stern Pioneers find an opportunity against them and pick them up pretty much for free. That will definitely help equalize the manpower situation for Dbmb, who's been playing from behind this entire time because of his decision to spend 500 manpower on this structure. The Stern Pioneers will try to take this opportunity to spread out and take territory in the south a little bit. And a pretty hefty blob of riflemen is making its way towards the middle. 3 squads equipped with 1, 2, 3 flamethrowers and 2 bazookas, I think. So lots of weapon upgrades right there, plus the pack howitzer behind. Rear echelon troops will spot some Volksgrenadiers and other things making their way down from the north. With pack howitzer fire supporting from range. A little bit of damage inflicted right there. Volksgrenadiers will be able to convince those rear echelon troops to retreat. The blob of riflemen, however, in the center scares off all Stern Pioneers in this area. Stewart leading the charge.
Return fire!
Stewart looking for opportunities in this general area. Captain engaging against Jaeger Light Infantry. The Stewart will force them to retreat back to the battle group headquarters. There's a very tight clump of forces in this area for Dbmb, and they're a little bit out of position right now, multi-pulling them from place to place. Dbmb can't get up a coordinated defensive line. Raketenwerfer will try to find a line against the Stewart, activating stealth right here. Pack howitzer is firing on everything in this area from range now, harassing Dbmb and bleeding his manpower in an already very manpower expensive strategy of 2 Stern Pioneers plus Jaeger Light Infantry plus the 500 manpower structure. Double Stern Pioneers looking for an opportunity against riflemen. We'll get into close range here. They're well spread out, dealing heavy damage with their flamethrowers right there, but the Stern Pioneers look like they pulled ahead in that engagement. And actually, a sort of late retreat on those riflemen. They dropped their bazooka. Picking that up with Stern Pioneers will deny them access to SDG-44 though, so that's kind of an expensive thing to pick up, but probably still a good idea. Pack Howitzer forces that retreat. Raketenwerfer gets cleared by flamethrowers here. Well, nice spread on all these flamethrower squads, inflicting massive damage on everything Dbmb has here. He's holding on by a thread. Everything has to pull back to the battle group with one man remaining. If this defense breaks, he may not be able to salvage this game. Pack Howitzer bombarding this the entire time is very scary. Every single shot has the potential to wipe out these heavily, heavily damaged squads. But it looks like Maltese attack is going to break against this defense. Against all odds. That was a razor's edge on which this game tilted right there. But he manages to out-reinforce that push, and the only wipe there was this Raketenwerfer, which he should be able to recover. White Phosphorus gets dropped too late, unfortunately, to inflict any real damage here. Dbmb will get clear of that and reinforce all losses. But a triple cap is going against Dbmb right now. He's down 250 points. And the pressure just will not let up. These flamethrowers proving very effective against a double Stern Pioneer opening, clearly. Dbmb will attempt to slow the clock with his Jaeger Light Infantry in the center and with a spare squad of bazooka-equipped Stern Pioneers making their way deep into the south behind enemy lines, which is a dangerous thing to do with effective counter-harassment vehicles on the field. Fortunately for him, the Stuart is in the U.S. base receiving repairs right now, so no counter-harassment on its way yet, and the clock will stop. Infiltration grenades. Riflemen taking control of points here outside the Overcommando West base will meet with an Ostwind. Ostwind on the field now. He's struggled long and hard to try and get this Ostwind out, but here it is. It's 100 fuel. He will probably be able to get a second one. Might not be a bad idea either. Multi, on the other hand, will need to get out a Major, which is in production, and once that's on the field, he'll have access to the EZ-8 if he wanted that. Or just the standard Sherman. Either one will be an effective counter to the Ostwind for sure. The Stuart activates Shell Shock, and with bazooka support, it will prevent that Ostwind from firing for a little while. Infiltration grenades try and break up that Rifleman clump. Rifleman buddies will be successful. They have no choice but to retreat right there, and the Ostwind doing minor damage to the Stuart. Well, at least convince that to pull back a little bit as the Raketenwerfer moves up. Get some shots off. Stuart gets a lucky hit, slowing down the Raketenwerfer's first shot, and it looks like the Stuart will easily be able to pull back to safety. Units taking control here in the middle. We'll slow the clock down once again. Lots of healing and reinforcement happening here in the US base. We've also got the major retreat point activated, which doesn't really do much, but alright.
Orders complete.
Send your orders!
Standing by.
more shell shock from the Stuart on the Ostwind right there. It's going to take a little bit of pack howitzer fire and bazooka fire. I don't think it's in any serious danger, but it definitely needs to pull back to safety a little bit. Nice flank from the captain. Maybe it is in serious danger. It might go down right here. Stuart needs to get one more shot at range. Oh, that pack howitzer shot on the Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers. Instant retreat. He has no choice. Stuart moves up into close range, and the captain shot from the rear. Beautifully executed play by Multi right there, with the captain moving up from the flank. Bazooka's there. Stuart shell shock plus some pack howitzer lucky hits. I've never seen so much combined arms from Captain Tier utilized to destroy an Ostwind that did not include an AT gun. Pretty impressive stuff, and Dbmb is pushed all the way back to his battle group headquarters again. Second Ostwind is too late to arrive to that engagement to support. Vet 3 Stuart here as well. That Stuart has proven to be a nightmare for Dbmb to deal with. His decision not to get a second Rakettenwerfer might be hurting him a little bit, and the fact that he's now lost. Where is the Rakettenwerfer that he had? It's dead somewhere. It got cleared, but not stolen. And an Easy 8 is now in production to help Multi with the... Ooh, okay. Was that friendly fire? What happened right there? No. Those riflemen went down a lot faster than I was expecting them to. Ostwind, I guess. Plus Sturm Pioneers. That was nasty. Going in hard on that Stuart. He may have an opportunity to destroy this here. Bazookas arrive to protect, though. Pack howitzer might get cleared. So we will need to reinforce that, fortunately for the correct cost. And Dbmb picking up a few kills does not destroy the Stuart, will be forced to contend with an Easy 8 very soon, is in a pretty bleak anti-tank situation. He's got 2 stolen bazookas though, so that helps a little. 2 Panzer Shreks. Probably needs to get Rakettenwerfer out, but he does have some mines going down. Mines protecting his flanks definitely should help. Shoe mine gets detonated on the captain right here. Huge blob. Just, ooh, you probably should not blob right into an Ostwind. I do not see that idea going very well for him. If he rounds that corner, he could take serious damage. Stuart plus Easy 8 are trying to convince that Ostwind to pull back, and they will do so successfully, which will open up the rifleman ability to push through and annihilate all of these infantry. They're eating so much flamethrower fire right here. Late retreat, but it should get away. Rakettenwerfer in the back, or some kind of anti-tank support, will destroy the Stuart, but the Ostwind also goes down to this bazooka blob. And Captain there in the back plus Easy 8 fire. Easy 8 falls to about half before retreating out of the engagement. If white phosphorus or something were to be dropped on this, it could be catastrophic, but he didn't quite have the munitions for it. Ostwind smoke forces the rifleman to close into very short range here. Pack howitzer fire coming in. Infiltration grenades coming in. Grenades being exchanged on both sides. This could be a really bad situation. Wow, both squads get away with just a tiny sliver remaining. The clock, however, continues to tick against Dbmb. I can't believe how many near retreats, near decisive engagements this game has had, with Dbmb retreating and reinforcing desperately on this battle group headquarters and surviving these pushes by such a narrow margin. I don't know whose favor that went in. Ostwind destroyed, Vet 3 Stuart also destroyed. He will salvage both of these with the improved salvage from his commander, get a little bit of resources back, and try and get another one out, which he should be able to do. Meanwhile, the Easy 8 has to receive repairs in the back. And a new Sherman is on the way. I thought that Dbmb's AT situation was pretty bad, but I guess it's better than I thought it was, because he took out a Stuart and scared off an Easy 8 with this same Corps of Infantry, which is getting very high veterancy. I don't think he's going to be able to survive a Sherman and an EZ-8. But I guess it depends on what he fields next. If he thinks that an Ostwind is worth it, it's going to help against the rifle blobs, but it won't help very much against the 2 Shermans. He will try and turn the victory point situation around again. While he has a window of opportunity to do so, he sends all of his infantry straight for the victory points.
Combat unit ready.
But the EZ-8 and Sherman are on their way. There's the Ostwind. That's the 3rd one. I don't know if he can afford to lose this one. At least not for a while. He needs to hold the line. He has very limited tools with which to do so. The blob is maybe on its way. Looks like he just wants to take control of this VP and maybe try and pick up a wipe here in the south. Dbmb is afraid that they might be on their way to do just that, so as soon as he gets that victory point captured, he will retreat immediately. Nothing is on its way to pick up that squad. He's just blob capping the center VP, wants to get that clock ticking against his opponent, or at least slow the clock against himself. Ostwind moves to start poking at the blob and force the odd retreat. And there's another Rakettenwerfer on the field, finally, to try and bolster his anti-tank and do something about this EZ-8. Ostwind doing a pretty good job of at least harassing down that force, and by forcing those 2 retreats, it means Multi will not have an opportunity to make a decisive push against the truck for a 3rd time. Stern Pioneers pull back a little bit to get that Ostwind repaired. Rear echelon troops taking control of the VP here in the south.
Orders to head down. Pay attention this way. Return fire! All done over here.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
They got a Panzer back! Ready, set.
Booby trap goes down on the munitions right here. Oof! Found a few spare munitions to throw down on that. That could definitely punish an overextension by a blob of infantry into that munitions point. Huge high explosive round on those Volksgrenadiers inflicts yet more manpower bleed. But Dbmb seems to be weathering the storm. The question is whether or not he can do so long enough to turn the victory point situation in his favor. He's very behind right now, clearly struggling. Ostwind moves to engage against some riflemen over here on the right side. Ooh, and it receives engine damage. That could be extremely bad, but at the same time, if it can bait a squad of riflemen into this booby trap, that could be extremely good. EZ-8 parked in the south, and 2 Shermans about to make their way up to... Oh, that pack howitzer shot wipes a Stern Pio squad. That miracle hit, and the Shermans are about to make a huge push right here. This squad looks like it could go down. White phosphorus on the retreat path. Huge crush maneuver. This could be catastrophic. Oh no, the booby trap just got detonated by that high explosive round, and the white phosphorus is inflicting massive damage. EZ-8 destroys the Ostwind. There is no way Dbmb will survive that. GG, well played. There it is. Sync error detected. Okay. That final decisive push with the 2 Shermans, he didn't even really bring riflemen into that, and Dbmb just couldn't survive against the growing swarms of allied tanks.
Tank ready.
And ultimately, I think his decision to go with this this very early aggressive battle group headquarters was kind of maybe came back to haunt him a little bit. It felt like he was playing from behind from start to finish. But at the same time, this game very much hinged on a razor's edge, and a lot of engagements came down to very close battles between Stuarts and Ostwinds and even Kugelwagons. So, some pretty fun stuff this game. GG, well played indeed. Allies win.